Well, here we go again, people, talking about the old water. I got a great response last week from the video I done on the water change debate. Everybody's weighing in on. I've had so many messages to me personally. They haven't been bad, they've been actually good. I've really had no negative ones. So I'll tell you that straight away. But a lot of people kind of try to enforce the way they do it. And I can only explain to you, again, like we done last week, not everything works for everybody. Unless you have the same size tank, same plants in there, same substrate or no substrate or whatever, identical fish, same parameters, nitrates, and your ammonia's good, and the heater's set exactly the same, the lighting exactly the same, and then you want to tell me something different, that's okay. But I guarantee, you go to your next door neighbour house that's got fish or a pond, and I bet you theirs is not identical to yours. Everybody is different, and everybody wants to do things. Hypothetically, I've got some swordtails here, as I know, I've told you previously, I got them from a friend, he's bred them outside. They'll go down to 11, 12 degrees and lower outside here. Now you look at a textbook, that's not true. You can't do that. That won't work for swordtails. They like higher temperatures. Everything, if you gradually change things slowly over time, will adapt. And so will we as fish keepers. So I just wanted to talk about a few more points with the water changes. As you all know, I used to be solely goldfish a few years back. Now, I can't stress to you enough. If you don't believe me, the Asians do goldfish keeping brilliantly. Now they'll have huge big ponds with their goldfish in that have been selected. Now, what they'll do, they'll have an empty 1,000 litre concrete pond next to a concrete pond that's stocked with goldfish, heavily fed, so you're going to get a lot of ammonia. So what they'll do once a week, they gather all them fish up, take it out, put it in the beautiful fresh water next door, clean that one out and refill it back up for next week. That's a practice they've been doing for years. That's how they get their goldfish to breed quickly, to grow quickly. We don't have that luxury most of the time. I'm pretty lucky here. I live on 2 blocks, nice big size yard, house, shed. Pretty lucky. But you can still only do so many water changes. I'm a shift worker too. So, but I stress to you that goldfish must have water changes. In my opinion, you can jump on there. Some people say to me, oh, I've got a heavily stocked tank with plants and everything like that. Well, that's fine. Most goldfish will eat your plants. Unless you use, which I'll show you in a minute, unless you use stuff like this, like your indoor plants or your shade house plants, nice root system, and they'll get a big, heavy, hard root system. The goldfish nip and get little bits of stuff off there, but they don't rip the roots off and eat the roots. So they'll continue to grow outside. You put inside plants in there, unless you've got Anubias or something like that, Anuba, sorry, which is a bit coarser and they don't touch it too much, they'll eat just about all the plants. They'll just strip them down, it's just a waste of your money. But then we go to having plants in a tank. I reckon there's nothing, I won't say his name, the big YouTuber does scaping at the moment, he's in the UK, I can't remember his name so I won't embarrass myself by saying the wrong name. But he does some absolute, I wish I could have them, absolutely beautiful scape tanks with all these beautiful plants, and he only does top up because they remove all the nitrates and ammonia and everything out there. It's not heavily stocked. Rainbow fish and stuff like that, they're not big bio loads. He's got a cleanup crew on the bottom, stuff like that, and it looks fair. I wish I could have it, but breeding for profit, yeah, that's not for me, and I don't have tanks inside. The reason I don't have tanks inside, I wish I had one like that, but I sell for profit. I can't get over attached to the fish. I do get attached to my breeders that I love, and I keep around, but as a baby comes through, they've got to be sold. That's just the way it is. But yeah, so if you've got plants inside your tanks and a nice heavy substrate, you can see where you don't got to do water changes or very little or top ups, everything like that. But as I said, there's some people in their comments, they did say to me, kind of enforcing their way, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. But every tank is different. One thing I did get asked last week, two things is, I mentioned about I had an outside area. It's a bit rainy and gloomy today, so I'll take you right at the end of the video, I'll take you out there for a little look, what's out there. And if you want me to do a video on what's out there, let me know. A lot of green water out in the pond, so you're probably not going to see a real lot, but I'll just show you what I've got out there. And the other thing is, and I need to show you, when I mentioned about the TDS in the shrimp, a lot of people kind of not believing me because like your crystal reds don't really like high TDS. I brought these from a person that bred them in a high TDS like normal water, so when you sell them to people, you know they're not just going to go and die, so you get them acclimatised to that. Now I'm going to show you the TDS actually in my crystal black tank, and hopefully you'll be able to see some of the shrimplets in there too, so you'll just be able to see if it's a high TDS, as long as you don't sharply change it, they'll live in a higher TDS. Maybe lower, they'll even breed more and be better, but I don't want to muck around with TDS. I think I said last week, I do drop a bit of rainwater in there every now and then to drop it down, which always helps. I mean, everything helps with rainwater, they love it. I wish I could open the roof sometimes and let the rain in because spawning would just go off tap, but I can't, so I bring in a big hose, which have got big tanks with a lot of rainwater, so I spare on a bit of breeding through that. So I'll grab hold of that camera and we'll go for a little bit of a look. Alright. Gee, sometimes I think with a shed this big, I see people live stream. I reckon I could live stream all day with them. I'm always doing something in here. Now this is a prime example. I think I talked about it last week. Now I had some mocks in here, so it's probably messed it up a little bit. Now this palm that's in here, see this heavy root system? And these other plants over top, they got more of a heavier, thicker root system, and they keep that nice and clean. At the moment, it's not that great, this tank, because the two filters actually need rinsing out and cleaning. And yeah, and I had a mop down there, and when I pulled the mop out all this morning, it kind of stirred things up. Well, here's one similar. Might be able to see, not heavily stocked, and the fish with low bioloads. So that's an aquarium plant, and that's surviving fine in there. And that's your arrowhead, butterfly, puffos, whatever you want to call it. No, Sononium actually, sorry. Peace lilies, still my most favourite. Best for aquariums. They need low light. Same here. There's you got your puffos back there. These all help with water changes. Now, the quicker these plants grow, it just means you've got more light on there, and it's sucking out more stuff in your water. That means your bioload might be a bit heavier, so it's growing faster, trying to remove everything out. These don't grow overly fast here, because they do small water changes. Once again, it's for breeding purposes, and so they don't grow super fast. But have a look at the big root. coming down from there. That's a Xanadu. These here, peace lilies, look at this. All this root system from the peace lily. Bloody beautiful. So that's why the water's so clear. That's the thing that's sucking all the nitrates and all the ammonia out of the water. I've got to do a little bit more water change on here. It's got a mixed bag of lollies in it. This one, I do not have a lot of plants in here. Because I've got my little betta or betas over the top there, I haven't got over the top plants, which I need in here. But yeah, everything's going well there. That probably gets about 20% once a week. Now here we go. Oh, there's a crystal black right there. Now we're going to see any babies. They're going to try to make a liar out of me. There's one right in there. I don't know if you can see it. There it is there. Focusing that. Well, there's just to prove that my point. Now I'll get the old TDS meter and we'll whack it on here for you to see. If you can read that, that's 457. Alright, so that's what my water's all at. So you've got golden bees, they haven't spawned yet, or had shrimplets. Crystal red's not having a great thing, but I've got hundreds of orange-eyed blue tigers, golden yellows, tangerine tigers are buried up, orange heaps of, fire reds, cherries. In fact, the fire reds, I'm just going to put with the cherries because I reckon that's overrated. Fire reds, I reckon that's bloody same thing. Loads and loads of bristlenose taken out this morning. So that's just another little overview and a bit of a talk about the water debate. It all boils down to what you want to do. You know, classic case of this. All I do for the Madakas is take water out from there and put in there and top it up. Very rarely they get absolutely straight fresh water. And I've got some plants that are doing fine in there, keeping it nice and clean. They've been breeding. The mops are in here. That's where their babies have been going. So, and I'll take you for a little walk and we'll pop over and have a look at the ponds. But before I go, you can see how well these plants are all growing here in the fancy goldfish system. Look at them. See all the new shoots there? Absolutely flying along. Once again, that helps with your water changes. I had a few bigger YouTubers message me and comment, and they were pretty good. They were all the same opinion. They've got opinions, but they're not enforcing that you have to do this. This has had the fish sold out of there now, they're gone. But this is a 500 litres, like a waterfall system. I've got it turned off so there's no noise. But there's heaps of Danios, barbs, and some guppies all in there. That's a muck guppy tank. That's heated, so hence I'll put these over. These got baby swordtails out here, and now this is where I bring me goldfish out to grow up. In here, and these are the ones I select. I grow out for myself, but there's some down the bottom there, you can't quite see them. But once again, these outdoor plants. This water's nice and clean. Now, here's a good example. This was green as green. So 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I decided to put this lot of plants all in the corner, and it's slowly clearing the water up. It's slowly sucking all that green water in, all that good stuff, and away it's growing. Alright, there's some babies hard to see in there. You might be able to see one or two moving around. I find the outside water always looks a bit yucky, but look at all the babies in there flitting around. Alright then, my friends. So, hit that subscribe, like, share, comment, and hit the notification bell if you can, please. It really does help me. helps my channel grow. I really like some of these debates. It's good fun. Gets all talking about fish. So this is Jeff from Goldfish with Ghost Aquariums, and I will probably try to do another video next week as well. See you later.